We have a huge update on Leafs prospect Fraser Minten saying he is very close to being a full-time member of the Leafs roster. Plus, is Mark Giordano's career over? I'm going to break all this stuff down for you guys coming up on this episode of Hat Trick HQ. But before we get into it, we just want to say we're on the road for 5,000 subscribers here before the end of the summer. So if you're not subscribed already and you want to keep up to date on everything that's happening around the league, make sure down below and hit that subscribe button. But with that said, let's jump right into the first topic of the video today, which is Gio's career over? And yes, sadly, it's coming to that point where we're starting to see, Gio hasn't signed a contract yet to continue playing for next season at 40 years old. Is it time we see Mark Giordano hang up the skates? We do see a report here in this article where they talk about that. They say Mark Giordano has not been signed for an NHL team. His days of signing long-term lucrative deals are well behind him, but his passion for the game remains as strong as ever. His desire to keep playing for a few more years, in quotation marks, speaks to his enduring drive and commitment to the sport. They also go on to say here, his agent Rich Winter admitted he clearly wants to play. Here's hoping Gio finds a new team where he can continue contributing on and off the ice while bringing his experience and leadership to yet another NHL roster. And yes, it kind of seems here that Mark Giordano is playing days are well behind him, even though last season with the Toronto Maple Leafs, he did look solid when he got out there on the ice for the starts he got in these defensive pairings. But it just seems like at 40 years old now, a lot of NHL teams don't want to take the risk of adding a 40-year-old Mark Giordano at risk of maybe injury, at risk, of stuff like that, that he's not the defenseman that he once was. Obviously, at 40 years old, I still think he is a solid defenseman. Do I think he could crack NHL roster's defensive pairings? 100%. I think there's a lot of NHL D rosters out there right now that could use a guy like Mark Giordano, especially ones with young players coming up that could use, the mentorship from Mark Giordano. There is definitely value in that. But for a contending team, if Gio's trying to maybe win, a Stanley Cup before he hangs up the skates, I don't think one of these contending rosters would benefit from Mark Giordano. I'm not saying that he's a bad defenseman, but I think that there are so many other options that they can gamble on rather than bringing in Mark Giordano at a league minimum. But in saying that, I do think Gio will find a team here. I think maybe a team like San Jose, maybe even like Ottawa or someone like this, like a team that's kind of low on the rung, who could use a Gio for his mentorship, could use him in that third pairing. He can get into maybe 50 to 55 games for you as a season, play him as maybe a 7th D, and at a league minimum is definitely a good gamble to take. But in saying that, if this is it for Mark Giordano, which it could very well be, he's had a tremendous career, and man, he's won the Norris Trophy in his 30s. I mean, there's not many people who can say that. Not many defensemen who can say that. But it was a great career by Gio if it is over. But I do think we will see a lot of Gio in the future. I think this guy is going to be a coach one day. I think he's going to be a great defensive coach. And I think this is where we'll see the route of Gio go, because obviously he loves the game. He has high IQ for, the defensive side of the game. So transitioning into maybe defensive coaching, learning the coaching side, moving up to assistant, moving up to head coach is maybe the route we see Gio in. And I think this will be the perfect route for Mark Giordano to go in the future. But I really do hope we get to see him in a roster this season. I mean, we see the likes of him, Phil Kessel, still trying to find teams, and we want to see him play, but unfortunately, it just seems like that's not going to happen. But shout out to Gio, one hell of a career. We got to say it here on the channel. We're going to get into the second topic of the video today, which is huge update on Fraser Minten. And yes, if we just take a look here from Hayley Wickeheiser, the assistant general manager of the Toronto Maple Leafs. This is what she had to say about Fraser Minten. She said he adapts really well. He is great to work with from a development standpoint. He's always curious on his own game. He studies the game of others, and for him, it's just about trying to assist him towards taking that next step to being an everyday NHL player. And she says he's very close. She also says he's such a pro. He's a very mature kid. He's a leader everywhere he goes, and he's really like a sponge. And I mean, this is some huge praise coming out of once Captain Canada, Hayley Wickeheiser, saying, hey, Fraser Minten is very close here to being a full-time NHL player, and he's very mature for his age. He's got that leadership in him, and he's just a student of the game. He likes just learning new things, whether it's by seeing other teammates the way they play and try to take that and adapt it into his game. It just shows how strong-minded Fraser Minten is for the game of hockey, and saying here that he's very close is obviously a huge update, and it's a huge deal because we've been talking here on the channel for a while about these young players and are they going to crack the roster come, opening day or opening night of the season. And it seems like with these words from Hayley Wickeheiser that we may see Fraser Minten saying that he's very close. Obviously, last season we seen him get into 4 games. So since then, he's had a full season to develop his game, a full season to add things to his arsenal to bring with him to the NHL. And obviously, he's still young. Was he like in his very early 20s, I believe, maybe even 19 at this point. And he's just got that knack for just trying to make his game better, even though he's already a very solid centerman and will be for the Toronto Maple Leafs when he makes this roster. He's just trying to add more elements to his game so that he can make that next jump to the NHL. And just hearing this is obviously it's a big deal because we want to hear this from prospects from your team. If you're a Leafs fan, you want to hear this. Just hearing Fraser Minten is very close, and that he's like a sponge and that he can just soak it all up here and just put it towards making himself a better player is a big deal. And I really do think that we will see Fraser Minten, if not this season, I think it will be next season. I think, obviously right now, with the way the Leafs center depth is, bringing Fraser Minten in right now probably isn't the best solution because obviously they got like Johnny T, they got Austin Matthews, of course, they got Max Domi, they've got David Kemp, they got so many centermen right now. They could move Domi to the wing because we did see that last year and put Fraser Minten down in that third line center or maybe even the fourth line center if they do see fit that way. That could work out, and that would be an option that I would like to see as well. But it just seems like they're kind of set on the Max Domi being a centerman, but it's interesting because we got a new coach. We don't know what his mindset is. We don't know where he's going to put players. Does he like Domi more in the center position? Does he like him more on the wing? Does he like Nylander in the center position more than he likes him on the wing? It's going to be interesting to see, and that's all going to play factors in to if we see Fraser Minten here come opening night. Because if, say, they keep Domi on the wing and then they keep Nylander on the wing, then that frees up a center position for a guy like Fraser Minten to come in and make this roster. But it's definitely going to be interesting to see what happens here in Toronto this season, and it's definitely going to be very, very exciting. And just hearing these words come out of Hayley Wickeheiser that Fraser Minten is that close to being a full-time NHL guy is huge, and we want to see him in the Leafs roster. I think this guy would be tremendous for the Toronto Maple Leafs. But I want to hear your guys' thoughts on that down below in the comments section. We're going to get into everybody's favorite topic here, which is comment of the day. And the comment of the day today goes to wrist shot. He says Yamamoto on 2 years league minimum contract I will consider. Obviously that was in our video I guess yesterday, talking about Kyle Yamamoto potentially coming to the Toronto Maple Leafs in a free agent signing, and I do like that. Maybe even a 1 year league minimum could be interesting. I think one thing I did see in the comments that I didn't really think about when I was recording that video was about bringing him in on a PTO. I think that is a great option. I think whoever put that down there, I couldn't find it when I was looking for comment of the day here, but I really like that, and I think bringing him in on a PTO, seeing how he plays with teams, seeing how he gels into the Berube system would really be a great option before, going out and getting him on that 1-year league minimum, and then you're just stuck with him. Bringing him in on PTO was definitely a great option, and I would love to see that. But I appreciate the comment, wrist shot, and I think Yamamoto could be an impactful player for the Toronto Maple Leafs if he does sign with the team. But if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure down below, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Like I said, we're on the road for 5,000 before the end of the summer, so if you're not subscribed already, make sure to hit that subscribe button and comment on the video. You might be featured on the next comment of the day, just like our buddy wrist shot was today. And if you want to check out the video we did talking about Kailer Yamamoto, it'll be popping up on your screen right now. But as always, I've been your host, KC. Keep your stick on the ice.